Hello, my name is Luke Dreer, and this is my informant speech. So there's been a lot of controversy over which MLB team is the best franchise, and I'm here to tell you that's the St. Louis Cardinals. So it's not always about wins or World Series, how many World Series championships you get, which the Cardinals are ranked third in most wins since MLB is created, but it's also about the history of that franchise, the success of that franchise, and the fans of the franchise. And those are my three main points for this speech. First thing I want to talk about the history of the St. Louis Cardinals. So they were founded in 1882 and they were called the St. Louis Brown Stockings, in which they later changed the name to St. Louis Cardinals in 1900. And that they came up with the idea of two birds on the back of their jersey, and that's still a famous jersey in today. They're also a part of the 8 original MLB teams, along with the Atlanta Braves, which is the first MLB team ever created. So the Cardinals have been in MLB since the beginning. Also, a big part of the history is the 3 stadiums they have been in. The first stadium is a Sportsman's Park. It opened in 1902, which they later changed the name to Busch Stadium. And then in 1966, they built a new stadium called Busch Stadium 2, or just Busch Stadium. And then in 2006, they built Busch Stadium 3, or just Busch Stadium, and that's their home today. St. Louis Cardinals are home to a lot of big name Hall of Famers, and just to name a couple: Scott Rowland, Ted Simmons, Larry Walker, Joe Torre, Lou Brock, Ozzie Smith, Bob Gibson, Cy Young, Mark McGwire, and Bruce Sutter. And a quote I got from the National Baseball Hall of Fame states, with no author, that the St. Louis Cardinals have so many big names in their franchise that it makes them one of the best franchises, along with the New York Yankees. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the success of the St. Louis Cardinals. So they have won 11 World Series championships, only second behind the New York Yankees, which is a pretty big deal. And they're the only team to never lose 100 games in a season, along with the Yankees and Dodgers, which is also a pretty big deal because they never have big losing seasons. And a quote I got from Adam Augustin from Britannica writes in 2023, in 2006, an underdog Cardinals squad advanced to the World Series, where it easily defeated the favored Detroit Tigers to become the champion with the lowest regular season winning percentage in baseball history, after having posted a win-loss record of 83-79. So teams with 83 wins in a single season usually don't win a World Series. Usually teams 100 wins or above win the World Series. But the Cardinals find ways to win World Series championships. They're also not considered to be the richest franchise in MLB. They're only ranked 7th in value with $2.45 billion. And another example in 2011, where they were the wild card in the playoffs, and they eventually built their way up to get to the World Series, and they built the favorite Texas Rangers to win the World Series. And the next thing I want to talk about is the fans of the St. Louis Cardinals. And a quote I got from Evan Bruccini, a writer from Bleacher Report, said in an article from 2010, Johnson was later quoted as saying that St. Louis was first when it comes to all-around appreciation of its players, the history of the game, and opposing players. It's a fun city to come to because you know it's all baseball here. And another quote I got from Gary Ustall, a writer from another Bleacher Report article, says, if there's one thing I truly respect out of the city of St. Louis, it's that the whole town seems to be huge fans of baseball and truly loves their hometown Cardinals more than anything. I can tell you from experience, I've been to at least 15 Cardinals games and countless playoff games also, that the experience there is truly amazing. And for example of how good the fans are to their players, Matt Holliday in the playoffs with Game 3, he dropped in a pretty big outing, he dropped a fly ball, and that eventually led them to lose the game. But then the next game, Game 4 in the playoff series, he came up to bat and they cheered Matt Holliday. Like the fans erupted in praise because he's helped them get to that point. But they're not gonna criticize him for dropping one fly ball like other fans would do in other franchises. And that's why the fans at St. Louis are the best fans in all of baseball. And that's also why the St. Louis franchise is also the best franchise in all of baseball, along with the richness of their history, the success they have, and most importantly, the fans. Thank you.